Well, hello everybody from LA Studios in Mobile, Alabama. I'm Harry T. This is the home of Radio A1A, Cruisin Country Radio, Paradise Road Radio.
She's gonna change my head.
And that
I found peace in
is the music
West. All love and sun.
of Dan Jackson and the Smokers.
Island girl, she's the one. In the air and through the sky, I'm lifted by her touch. She showed me how the heart means so much.
That's called Island Girl.
Try a little sunshine, baby, a little loving too. She said, you keep shining and you'll find that it all comes back to you. It all comes back to you.
It does. It comes back to you. And with me right now in the studios, the man who put that song together and put the group together called Dan Jackson and the Smokers. His name is Mitchell Eynon. Hey, man, how you doing? And where are you right now?
What's going on? I'm in San Antonio right now.
Wow, that's interesting. San Antonio, Texas, a great music town.
Yes, it really is. They have a lot of great music out here, and I also came from a great music town too, of course, from LA. And right now, I've only been in San Antonio for 2 months, and we recorded this song, and we recorded plenty of other songs that are coming up, and just the months before I moved out here. And so I edited them all once I got here, though.
You're the editor, the producer, and is that you singing the song there, Mitchell?
It is, yeah.
Oh, man, you've got a tropical voice, man. Where do you get your island field, and where did you see that island girl?
You know what? What the Island Girl is a figment of imagination, but it's the story is just a dude who's going on a nice tropical vacation, and I think we can all relate to working too hard sometimes and just needing that getaway. And this guy goes on his vacation, meets, and that's where that's what that song's about.
You know something? That is the story that we like to hear from somebody that's on our station. We only have independent singer-songwriters and no covers, hopefully. They do sneak them in there, but you have sneaked or snuck in a real good tropical Americana, trop rock, coastal Americana, Gulf and Western style, feet in the sand, flip-flops song. And how did you come about sending it to Radio A1A for us to put out for the first time? Most people will hear it today for the first time.
You know what? Well, it just started with a Google search, and I thought to myself, man, I had put the song up on streaming stations and everything, but I wanted to get involved with the radio and the trop rock community, because all the music that I've made before Dan Jackson and the Smokers was just strictly country music.
Yeah.
And it was
country.
Changes in Latitudes and Attitudes, Jimmy Buffett, that whole thing. I heard that just within months ago. And when I heard that, I said, I got to put a tropical spin, give country Americana. And I said, that's the music to make. That sounds good.
You got it. You hit the nail on the head, and your instrumentation was well chosen.
Thank you.
You have prepared a video without my permission, but with my blessings, of course. I like the way you were. You're a pirate. That's the way this stuff works. We're all figuring it out as we go, aren't we, Mitchell? Aren't we?
We really are.
And I like people discovering new ways, and I really like what you did with this video, if I can call it up here. Oh, here it is right now. It's about a minute long, guys, and this is something that Mitchell put together when he decided to submit this song, and then when we decided to run the song, he said, "Oh my God, it's running!" So you'll see. Give us a little intro of the video, if you don't mind. This is Mitchell Eynon, and by the way, it's Dan Jackson and the Smokers. We'll talk about the name after this. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Intro this video you produced.
Sure. Yeah. This is about a minute long video, and gives a little bit of footage of the recording process. You're going to get to see some of the people involved with making the music. You get to see who the background singer, who which is Romina from Argentina, and I had to have her in there because we needed an island girl in the background to sing. So we got her in there, and she just had the perfect voice for it. So she kind of symbolizes the island girl in the song.
Okay.
And you get to see her. You get to see mostly recording process, and you get some information in there as well, just about the band and what's upcoming. Trop rock band from Los Angeles, California, and we started recording our first full album in early 2023 with Joseph Chacon on keys and myself on vocals and guitars. You'll also hear the amazing Romina from Argentina, our background vocalist who's already done 3 songs with us, including Island Girl and 2 upcoming singles. Island Girl is our first official single, and we're super proud to have its radio debut on A1A radio. You can find our music on Spotify, Apple Music, and everywhere else. So keep trop rockin', and we'll see you on the beach.
Try a little sunshine, baby, a little loving too, she said. You keep shining and you'll find that it all comes back to you.
Hey, it's Mitchell.
All right, that was cool. Man, oh man, that is quite the video you did there. By the way, it's Radio A1A. Lots of people get that wrong, but I love what you did. Yes, sir, indeed. Well, what is the name? Your Dan Jackson and the Smokers. What's the deal with the name? Is it like Steppenwolf? Is it like
That's a question that I've been getting because everyone's saying, why isn't it your name, or whatever. And so Joseph and we had to come up with the name, and there's no one in the band. Let's just get this out of the way. No one in the band is named Dan Jackson. And but we did have a professor in high school because we were in the same science class, and his name was Dan Jackson, and we were at a private school, as a Christian school, and he would always tell the story about how he was in a band, but he would never tell us the name of the band. And he said I don't want you to go out and find out what band it was because the lyrics were explicit and he was embarrassed about his past. But one thing he did always talk about was how he would always smoke barbecue. So we were like, how about just Dan Jackson and the Smokers? And why we named it that? It just came out like that.
There's a little bit of it in the background.
Oh yeah.
Try a little sunshine, baby.
That's quite a great concept.
You'll find that it all comes back to you. It all comes back to you. It all comes back to you.
So, this process of songwriting, is this your first stab at this thing, Mitchell?
It's not the first song I've written, but it's definitely the first trop rock, yacht rock, Americana, whatever you want to call it. Definitely the first in this style. And this was in this group of songs that we've recently recorded, this being the first single, I was figuring out, the instrumentation, which was just little bit different than some of the country music I had done before. And I put a lot more focus, I feel like, with this music into the lyric writing.
Yes.
I would say probably 10% of And it's not always like this because songwriting it's always a little different every time, but there's for the most part something that you follow that gets you to the end. But with this one, I'd say I spent maybe 10% of my time putting the chord structure together and 90% of the time just thinking about what the song was saying and the lyrics, which I really feel like is probably the most one of the most important parts.
Would you mind if I took people to a place where you always have to go to where the follow the money, and the folks that hear your song, they're going to look in their pocket and get some money out and go buy it. So how do they follow the money to the place where they can, buy your music? If you don't mind, I'm gonna place that
Sure.
up on the screen right now. This is a live shot of Amazon Music. Dan Jackson and the Smokers right there. Explain something to me there. Explain something to me. That album cover, who designed that?
Thing I came up with on this is the logo of Dan Jackson, the lettering and everything like that. But I had seen a Instagram page where this fellow was creating this really cool looking art. I didn't know how they were doing it.
Right.
And then the keyboardist Joseph, he said this looks like something that was done with AI, and you have to basically use your computer. And there's a program called DALL-E,
Mm-hmm.
and you type in exactly what you want to see. So I said I want to see this island with the girl standing here on the beach. Everything that you see there, you just describe it, and then the AI will spit out different versions of that.
Awesome.
And then so I picked that one, changed the saturation, maybe colors a little bit, but then the actual logo itself, that Dan Jackson, that was just created on a program called Pixlr.
Awesome. Good job. This is a self-made tropical music song and album, and you are doing grassroots media, social media. You reached out to me personally with an email. Your email
Yep.
came directly from our website, I do believe, and you submitted the song. And when when it's submitted to us and we send you an email back that it's radio ready, we also want it to be supported by those that are going to support it with sharing it on social media, which is, frankly, how a lot of our media is heard, is that people see it on social media. It's strange, it's music, but they see it on social media and then go hear the station and wow, there's that song they were talking about. There's Island Girl. There's Island Girl. There's that new group. That's Dan Jackson and the Smokers. By the way, the Coral Reefers are Jimmy Buffett's band. It has nothing to do with coral reefs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the Smokers, is that barbecue really?
Yeah. That's where we come up with that.
Really?
It is, but it just sounds cool too, right?
It really does. Just like the Coral Reefers, right? You get it. It is so refreshing, Mitchell, to see at my age and where I've been in the music world to this point, to every week something comes along beautiful like this song. Ooh, this song.
Every plan I had before, the sand on the ocean floor, and sand brings me down, man. But it's where I found my pearl, and that's you, my island girl. Are you my island girl?
Oh, Mitchell. You have written a very good song, and we're very proud to present it on our 24/7 programming on Radio A1A, soon to be uploaded also on Cruisin Country Radio. And you said it earlier that your background was in country music. And let me tell you, down here in the country of Lower Alabama, also known as L.A., where you're from, in L.A., on the left coast of, in California. You're from L.A., right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was in LA for 34 years, 10 months, and then just the last 2 months been in San Antonio. But I'm gonna be going back because I got to do some more recording.
Well, keep it up, and when you get to the other coast in LA, these beaches down here, it sounds as if you're writing about these beaches and the island girls that we remember. It doesn't matter how old you are. That song has no age, none whatsoever. Mm-hmm. It is a pleasant song. I do appreciate you submitting it to us. Mitchell,
thank you for having us on, Harry.
Mitchell Eynon. And
Eynon.
And Dan Jackson and the Smokers. And folks, this will be appearing in podcasts on our regular A1A Media podcast network. We're going to be promoting this, of course. Mitchell, you're going to be helping us get the word out to your fans on YouTube. And thank
Definitely.
you. Please subscribe if you have an opportunity to this channel, A1A Productions, and also Mitchell's channel. When you go to see this on Mitchell's channel, subscribe. There's a button I'm sure somebody will put down there. and follow it. And most of all, you know what really helps us is to like everything you see. When you see it, just take a moment to like it while it's playing. It really helps also to progress it or to move it to other viewers and up the list on making this song heard by a ton of people, if you know what I mean. Well, let's see. What do we have in store now, sir?
Well, we got a next single coming out in just about 3 weeks, June 30th. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be Night Swim. And yeah, so that one's coming up, and that one's got a little more instrumentation, a little faster, but it's a good one. It's got the steel drum this time.
Well, how are you? May I ask a few questions about production, if you don't mind, because there are a lot of songwriters out there that are going, "How did he do that?" You know, or
sure.
And do you mind sharing this information on? How do you bring in a steel drum player? Do you have a lot of steel drum players in San Antonio or LA, or do you?
No, I did not have access to a steel drum player. So for that song, I was editing it here in San Antonio,
yes.
And I had to find it's a keyboard sample. So you play the notes on a piano, and then you can actually hear it sounds like a real recording. So as long as I get the timing right, and I'm sitting here with an Apple keyboard, just trying to get it just right, you can get it like that, and it sounds legit. The only thing I do play the guitars and everything, so there's no way you can't get away with the guitar on a keyboard. Let me tell you that.
And you don't have to hump the equipment. And but the female vocalist, she was actually in your studio, right? And what was her name again?
Yes, her name's Romina.
Romina.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Will she be appearing on some of your new stuff?
She is already on 2 other songs, and she is gonna be on the next song. And she brings those songs to life. I can tell you that much. And she just has just the right amount of energy for this music, for sure.
All right, that brings us to the end of this great interview. Mitchell Eynon, Dan Jackson, and the Smokers. Oh man, I do love to hear new music from new folks and new, fresh approaches to tropical Americana music, and also crossing to country music here on Radio A1A, Cruisin Country Radio, and Paradise Road Radio. Thanks for being with us, folks, and don't forget, stay tuned for our YouTube live broadcasts and our live productions everywhere, and also like and support us on Facebook from time to time. It helps get the word out about this music by independent singer-songwriters. Music for the road to paradise. Thank you. Thank you, Mitchell.
It all comes back to you. We swim at night and make love by the firelight. And we walk the shore, ooh, my island girl, forevermore. In the air and through the sky, I'm lifted by her touch. showed me the heart means so much. Try a little sunshine, baby, a little loving too, she said. You keep shining and you'll find that it all comes back to you. It all comes back to you. It all comes back to you.